We are going to begin our reading lesson today. I would like to start with a turn and talk in a breakout room. So what are we going to talk about? Yesterday, we started our lesson learning about our government, learning about this important word called values. A value is something we believe in because it's the right thing to do. Yesterday, we read about 2 values that we believe in our country. I want you to talk about this in your breakout room. I want you to think about the word value. I want you to remember and think back to what we studied yesterday. And think about, what did we talk about yesterday? What were 2 values that we said we believe in our country? I'm going to send you into a breakout room to have a conversation, thinking about the vocab word value. What do we believe in? And let's see who can remember what we read about yesterday. Yesterday, we watched a video from Mr. McKinney, and he taught us about using the main idea and supporting details to learn all about the values in our country. So a value is something we believe in because we think it's the right thing to do. Was there anybody who could remember the 2 democratic values that we read about yesterday? What were 2 values that we thought were important in our text yesterday? Yesterday, we read about 2. The first one is called honesty. We believe honesty is the right thing to do, being honest, telling the truth. The second thing we learned about yesterday is called liberty. Remember that word? It talks about freedom. Yesterday, we read all about the liberties we have, and that's where we're going to start today. Today, we're going to go back to the work we did yesterday. We're going to look at what we wrote, and we're going to improve it. We're going to make it better today. Okay? So let's look at the teacher screen. Right now, it's showing which students have their assignment in the draft section. So these are the names of students who I have sent it back to you. It will be in your in progress folder, the orange check. So that's Brisadie, Day, Jillian, Haley, Honesty, Jonathan, Jose, Kaylee, Landon, Nick, Theo, Libby, Gloria, and Ashley. You need to go to your home page and find the draft of yesterday's assignment. It's called Main Idea, Democratic Values. Some students didn't get to this yesterday, and it will be in your red folder. Angela, it will be in your red folder. Jasmine, it will be in your red folder. Kellen and Sincere, it will be in your red folder. And Maberly, it will be in your red folder. Let's have everybody go find their task. Again, the name is called Main Idea, Democratic Values. It looks like this. Go find it and get it open, ready for working today. Today, we are going to begin on slide 2. Remember, liberty is one of the values that we believe in our country. Our government values liberty and freedom. So yesterday we read about liberty and we found the main idea. Most students did a great job recording the main idea in this box. Really good job, boys and girls. Now, the part that I want to start with today is on slide 3. Yesterday, I noticed we had lots of trouble thinking of questions to ask about the text. Today, I am hoping that Gloria would be willing to share her screen with us on slide 3, because Gloria had some really good questions that I would like to use as an example. Gloria, does that work for you? Okay, so I'm going to allow Gloria to share her screen with us. And then we will look at her questions that she asked about our text. Okay, Gloria, can you try to share your screen with us? Thank you, Gloria, for sharing your screen. I want everybody to look at question 1. This is what Gloria thought of after she read her text about liberty. Question number 1, Gloria wrote, "Who did the colonists did not like?" So, Gloria, how did you think of that question? Can you share with the class?
I saw in the text that the colonists didn't like the king.
Okay, so Gloria read her text about liberty. Then she saw that the colonists did not like the King of England. So she thought of a question. She looked at her question words and she thought of who. And she said, okay, I can ask, who did the colonists not like? I also noticed that Gloria gave the answer. She went back to her text about liberty. She found the answer, the king, and she typed it on her screen. Let's look at her question number 2. After Gloria read her text about liberty, she thought of a different question word. She used when. Gloria asked, when did the war start? Gloria, how did you know the answer was in 1775? How did you know that?
Because when it said, but the thing that the line.
Thanks, Gloria. So Gloria went back to her liberty text. She read when the war started and she found her answer. Great job, Gloria. Can you stop sharing your screen? And I will go back to sharing mine. Today, our first job is to practice asking some questions about our text. So let's go back to slide 2. Our text is all about liberty. We know that's the main idea. Today, I want to do 2 questions with you to practice so that you are ready to read about more values today, so that you can practice asking and answering questions on your own. Okay. Liberty is our text. I'm going to be the reader, and as I read today, I want you to think about your question words. I want you to think about what type of question you can ask about our text. Remember, we are only asking questions about the text. So our question words are who, what, where, when, why, and how. I notice how Kaylee is doing motions with me. Thank you, Kaylee Cole. So let's think of questions as I read today. Here we go. Liberty is an important democratic value. Liberty means freedom. In the United States, you have the freedom to believe what you want. You have the freedom to choose what religion to follow. You have the freedom to form your own ideas and opinions. You also are free to share your ideas with others. You can write what you think in a blog. You can go to a protest and stand up against the things you disagree with. Other people have these freedoms too. It's important to let people follow their own beliefs, even if they are different from yours. The idea of liberty goes back to when this nation was founded. Before the United States was a country, it was a colony of Great Britain. American colonists wanted to separate from Great Britain. They wanted their own country. They didn't want to be ruled by a king. As a result, colonists fought against the British in the Revolutionary War in 1775 to 1783. The colonists won. Our early leaders wrote down values they wanted in society. These democratic values are in important documents, such as the U.S. Constitution. Wow, I heard so many words in there that we've been learning about. Like the Constitution is the rules and the values we believe in our country. Let's go to slide 3. I'm thinking about my question words over here, and I'm wondering what question word I might be able to use. I know the text talked about some who people. I know it talked about some things and actions, so I could ask a what question. It talked about where, it talked about our country, it talked about England. I'm trying to think of a really good question that I could ask about this text. Okay, I really like the part about the Constitution. I'm going to show you in green. I really like this part. It's interesting to me. So I think I should ask a question about the Constitution. So, okay, it says our early leaders wrote down values they wanted in society. These democratic values are in important documents such as the U.S. Constitution. Okay, so maybe I could ask, where did our leaders write down values they wanted? I think that would be a really good question about our text. And I know we can find the answer right here in the text. I would like to use that question. I want you to use that same question word with me. Where? We're going to type it together. Are you ready? Question number 1. Where did the leaders write down values they wanted? Where did the leaders write down values they wanted? I'm using a question word. All of my words make sense. I'm using question words from the text. And I know this answer can be found in the text. Remember, explicit means it's in the text. You can put your finger on the answer. Where did the leaders write down values they wanted? You should be recording this question right now on slide 3. Check that you have this written down right now. Our answer is from the text. Where did the leaders write down values they wanted? We know the leaders wrote down values in the Constitution. I found our text evidence right here in the text. That's how I know what my answer is. You should be checking right now that you have your question and answer typed just like me. We have done one question together and one text evidence answer together. Now I want you to practice this in a breakout room. We are still using our text about liberty. I want you to think about another question that you could ask and talk about that with your group in your breakout room. As soon as you get into your breakout room, you're going to think about the liberty text, think of a question word, and ask a question about the text. We have some evidence here that says they wanted their own country. The colonists wanted their own country. They didn't want to be ruled by a king. So we could ask a question about this. We could ask a question about this topic. So we could ask, why did the colonists want their own country? Why did the colonists want their own country? We found the answer in the text. We have text evidence. We know that it says they didn't want to be ruled by a king. We know the answer, so this is a question we can ask about the text. You are now typing your second question with me. And I want to see who can type the answer on their own. Which third graders can go back to slide 2, find the text evidence, and record their answer on slide 3. Go ahead and do those jobs now. Yesterday. Today, during your independent work time, you're going to learn about a third value. We've talked about being honest. We've talked about being free, having liberty. Today, we're going to learn about a third value. Let's talk about what these slides mean. On slide 5, it's reading to you from Mayan. Here is the video.
Civic duties.
You may listen to the text to learn about civic duties. What is it? It's a value we believe in our government. Then, slide 6 is where you are going to tell me what the text is all about. You're going to tell me the main idea. Don't forget to highlight supporting details. What's the text all about? If you look at slides 7, 8, and 9, you will see that it's the same text. Number 5 reads it to you. Slides 7, 8, and 9 are the pages where you can go back and highlight details, okay? So you only have one text today, but you have it in 2 places. Slide 5 will read it to you. Slides 7, 8, and 9, you can read it yourself and look for evidence, okay? So today you're going to read about civic duties. Then you're going to tell me the main idea of the text and look for details. And then you get to practice our skill today. You get to ask 2 questions about our text. Today you're going to ask those questions about the civic duties
that help our country and civic duties.
Sorry about that. You are going to ask 2 questions about our text today, just like we practiced together. You're going to type those questions here, in a box, and you need to show the answer, just like we practiced today. Go into the text, find your text evidence, and type your answer below, just like we practiced together on Zoom. Are there any questions about today's work?